So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gidalti Salgado. Today I'm going to give you an informative speech in regards to the new updates of AR 670-1, which covers the grooming and appearance standards. So, for many years, the Army recognized that readiness was the Army's #1 priority. So, not until the 40th Army Chief of Staff is that he recognized that people were the #1 priority. By him doing so, this sparked a new initiative in which the Army saw soldiers as not only soldiers but as human beings. And with that, some of the new implementations that was made in order to capitalize people first was an update of AR 670-1. So in 2020, the Sergeant Major of the Army, Sergeant Major Sanders, gave a task to the G1 Uniform Policy Sergeant Major to gather recommendations from all major commands throughout the Army. And from the major commands, he also got perspectives from combat soldiers all the way to healthcare soldiers. And with these recommendations, he gave these recommendations to a diverse panel in which they were able to deep dive and explore some of these recommendations, and which now are part of the new AR 670-1 policy. And as said by Sergeant Major Sanders in the live town hall from the official United States Army YouTube page. So with that, I'm going to hit my main 3 points. So why did the Army change from readiness to people first, as well as what were some of these new implementations that were made for female soldiers. My second point is what were some implementations made for male soldiers. And then my third point, so with these new implementations, what is the Army doing to capture people first? And then my resources come from a YouTube channel, from the official United States Army YouTube channel, at a live town hall that was done by the Sergeant Major of the Army, as well as 3 articles from the official United States Army homepage. So let's begin by talking about why did the Army change from readiness to people first. So, and the former Secretary of the Army, Ryan McCarthy, and General McConville, they emphasized that people were going to be the new Army's #1 priority. This is a change in perspective, as for many years readiness was the #1 priority. So by the Army recognizing that people were the #1 priorities, they were able to invest in people people first initiatives, and as well they were able to recognize that the Army can't win without investing in people first, as it's people that help the Army win our nation's battles, as well as people that help to sustain readiness, modernization, and performance of the Army, as said by the Sergeant Major of the Army in an article written from the United States Army Association. Next is, so what were some of the changes that were done for female soldiers? So for female soldiers are now allowed to wear earrings in their Army combat uniform. And that's something that they can now wear in garrison. And then the next one is short ponytails. So short ponytails, they were recommended to the panel because there was a lot of diverse females in our ranks, and there's some females who simply could not do a bun with their hair. So therefore, these recommendations were brought up to the panel, and they were able to approve short ponytails as an improved hairstyle. The next one is long ponytails. So long ponytails were also recommended to the panel and were approved for female soldiers, as long as they were either doing physical PT, and as well as they were conducting combat or tactical or combat formations. The next one is lipstick and nail polish. So lipstick and nail polish were also approved by the panel, as now females could wear lipstick and nail polish as long as they're not in extreme colors, and then which also it keeps a clean appearance. So my next topic is what were some of the changes that were made for male soldiers. So for male soldiers, so the Army wanted to conduct some gender neutral policies. So with that being said, also males now are allowed to wear nail polish as long as they're in a clear color, which not only represents professionalism, but it also keeps the nails maintained in a healthy manner. And then one of the other things that were changed for male soldiers was highlights. So males could also wear highlights as long as they're in a natural color. So during these discussions, we'll go ahead and move on to my last topic. My last topic being what are some of the implementations that the Army is taking to recognize people first. So one of them, as stated by General McConville, is that they're implementing 24th century talent management systems, which allows the Army to recognize and assess talents within the Army from individuals. Next is This Is My Squad, which is led by the Sergeant Major of the Army, and this is pretty much to gather all people from a team, essentially, let's just say my squad, to recognize them and learn about their ideas, regardless of position or rank. And then the next one is project inclusion. So project inclusion pretty much is to assess and evaluate standards and throughout the ranks. And with that, I'm going to conclude with capturing what I went over. So today I went over and why did the Army change from readiness to people first, as well as capturing what were some of the changes that were made for female soldiers. The next one is what were some of the changes made for male soldiers, and as well as what are some of the new implementations that the Army is taking to capture people first. So with that, I'm going to just end with a quote from General McConville, which says, winning through people is the goal that the Army has, and it's a goal that they are looking forward to capitalize on as the Army progresses. Thank you.